10. Dr. Robotnik. You know what's possibly the hottest body shape anyone can have? Egg-shaped. Oh baby, Eggman's sexy ovoid body drives me wild. The mere thought of him lowering his bulky frame onto me sends shivers down my spine. What a fox. Number 9. Knuckles the Echidna. Who doesn't want a big strong Echidna to take care of them? This beefy member of the Sonic Squad can handle any problem you may have. Just don't ask him to do your taxes. Knuckles has red fur, and obviously red is the color of love, so he has that going for him. He's also a staunch feminist, well versed on subjects such as gender roles.
You know, Amy, anytime someone calls attention to the breaking of gender roles, it ultimately undermines the concept of gender equality by implying that this is an exception and not the status quo.
Plus, just look at the size of his hands. You know what they say about people with big hands? They have big gloves. Number 8. Tiara the Manx. Tiara was supposed to be a feline character in Sonic X-treme and Sonic Mars. Sadly, the games ended up being scrapped, but she was intended to be a love interest for Sonic who could match his spunk and energy. She has a real Lola Bunny thing going with that crop top, and we all know Lola Bunny is a babe. Plus, her last name was going to be Boobowski. She has boob right in her name. How hot is that? Number 7. Wave the Swallow. Wave is a totally cool Swallow character, and there's so much to say about her hotness. For one, her pants have flames on them, and we all know flames are hella hot. Plus, she's into tech, something that we nerds tend to love. Plus, those sultry eyes and long eyelashes make the fellas crazy. But most of all, her name is Wave the Swallow. Wave the Swallow.
Don't get me wrong, I like your spunk. Phrasing. Shut up!
Number 6. Vanilla the Rabbit. Vanilla is an anthropomorphic rabbit and mother of Cream. She's very kind and takes great care of her daughter, and there's nothing hotter than a good mother. Plus, you know, she's an adult, which is a big plus in my books. Careful though, with all the times he's kidnapped her, it seems like Eggman has his eye on her too. And considering what a tasty dish he is, you're in for the fight of your life if you want to win her over.
And at number 5, Toadette. Toadette is one of the more minor supporting characters that has managed to gain a big following. A parallel to her boyfriend Toad, Toadette is known for being sweet, optimistic, and at times, ever so slightly immature. But she's also got a lot of guts, and is a force to be reckoned with. She's appeared in 13 games to date. I guess being adorable sure has its perks.
Number 4. Shadow the Hedgehog. Everybody loves a bad boy, and Shadow is definitely the bad boy of the Sonic franchise. Looking dashing as hell with his slimming black fur, he'll zoom into your heart with the help of his air shoes. And you know what they say, once you go black, no, I'm not gonna finish that line. Number 3. Metal Sonic. Wait, what? Yes, Metal Sonic. Sometimes you don't want to worry about wishy-washy feelings, you just want something physical. Well, that's perfect for Metal Sonic since he doesn't have emotions. Plus, think of all the mods you could put on him. He could fulfill any desire you have, provided said desire doesn't require flesh. Number 2. Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah, this list would not be complete without the title character. Sonic has broken many a heart, hedgehog and human alike, and even though he likes to run fast, he takes his relationships slow. You know, he'll respect your wishes, and when the time is right, you can look into those green eyes, stroke his blue quills, and say, "Hey baby, you have a chili dog for me?" And then it's on. And even though he likes to go fast, you will yeah, well, you know where I'm going with that. Number 1. Elise. Guys, it's a human, a female human. Finally, I can drop the sarcasm for a minute to say that she actually is an attractive character. Obviously, she's pretty young, but hell, she's older than most people playing the game anyway, certainly older than I was in 06. I won't go into detail about why I find her attractive, because creepy, but I think we can all agree that she's pretty cute. Plus, she's royalty, so I'd probably marry her for her money alone. And to reiterate from earlier, this is based on an 18-year-old version of her. Take that, Chris Hansen.
And at number 10, Pauline. Starting off our list is the OG Mario girl, Pauline. Some of you may be scratching your heads wondering, hey, wait a sec, Pauline? Who's that? Well, let's jump back to 1981 and the very first Donkey Kong game. Remember that damsel in distress? The woman that Jumpman, later known as Mario, had to save? At the time in Japan, she was simply referred to as Lady. When the game was distributed in North America, she was given the name Pauline, named after the wife of Nintendo of America's warehouse manager, Don James. Since then, she got a makeover to help distinguish her from another Mario damsel in distress, and has reappeared in the Mario franchise many a time, primarily in spin-off games or crossover games with Donkey Kong characters, and most recently in 2017's Mario Odyssey, where she's the mayor of New Donk City. Gotta give it to Nintendo, they're never the type to forget their roots. Up next, number 9, Harriet. Speaking of Mario Odyssey, Harriet is a fairly new character who made her debut in the game last year, and she's a boss you have to take on during the mission's Inverted Pyramid Showdown and Big Brutal Battle. Harriet is from the dark side, a secret kingdom located on the moon in the game. She's often described as the kind of character you really don't want to get angry, as she has an arsenal of homemade bombs that she'll toss out at you that pack quite the punch. She's devious and lives life on the dangerous side, keeping those said explosives and bombs on her person at all times. Up next, number 8, Vivian. Speaking of villains, Vivian is a character who was once an antagonist to Mario's, but then she decided to switch over to the side of good, probably for the best. First appearing in Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door, she was a member of the Shadow Sirens, a group of sisters that came to the Mushroom World in an attempt to free their mistress, the Shadow Queen. She eventually joins Mario's party after having enough of her sister's abuse, learning to shed her inferiority complex and gain some confidence and self-respect. Vivian has had a bit of a low profile since Thousand Year Door, only appearing in one other Mario game, Super Paper Mario, with just a small cameo.
Number 7. ESPIO the Chameleon. ESPIO is one of the most versatile entries on this list. As we know, some people don't like people of a different skin color. Not a problem for ESPIO. Well, maybe a moral issue, but not a logistical problem. He can change color to suit your needs, so even racists can appreciate him. Sure, he can be a bit hot-headed at times, but if you make it past that hard exterior, you can bask in the warm, scaly comfort of his reptilian arms.
In our number 6 spot, Dixie Kong. Jumping over to another Nintendo franchise here, Dixie Kong is a character who has plenty of crossover appearances in Mario games. Or rather, 3 specifically. Mario Superstar Baseball, Mario Hoops 3-on-3, and Mario Super Sluggers. Dixie is likely the most beloved female character from the Donkey Kong series. She's energetic, adventurous, and oh so adorable. She's also the 3rd character to appear in the DK franchise after DK himself and her boyfriend Diddy, making her one of the more recognizable female additions in Nintendo's cast of characters. And hey, who doesn't love a good crossover cameo?
Number 5. Marine the Raccoon. There isn't a ton of diversity in Sonic, most of them sound pretty American, but not Marine. As the only raccoon among the lead cast, as well as the only Australian sounding one, as far as I know, she's super unique. And of course, Australian accents are crazy hot. The only problem with her is that raccoons spend far too much time waiting around in garbage, so should probably start your date off with a quick swim.
And at number 4, Birdo. Birdo is a character with quite the interesting history. She's largely considered to be the first trans character in video games. How so? Well, in her first appearance in Super Mario Bros. 2, the English manual for the game stated that Birdo, known as Ostro at the time, was a boy who, I quote, thinks he is a girl and would rather be referred to as Birdetta. Later releases of the game removed the mention of Birdetta in the manual. Various game theorists and developers over the years have noted the importance of Birdo, and have questioned whether or not the character underwent gender reassignment surgery. Reception of Birdo has always been mixed because of this, with some critics even calling Birdo one of gaming's most repelling anti-babes. On the other hand, others have noted that Birdo is just one of a long line of Japanese video game characters forced to hide their true sexual identity. All that aside, Birdo's gender doesn't change the way a lot of players feel about the character. Many still adore the cute pink dinosaur and ship Birdo and Yoshi as a romantic item.
Number 3. Shade the Echidna. Shade is a seductive female echidna introduced as a member of the Nocturnus clan. With a skin-tight black suit and luscious brown quills, this saucy combination of Sonic and Tron is dressed to impress. And the best part? Shade eventually changed sides when she learned what her clan was really doing. So she goes both ways.
In our number 2 spot, Rosalina. A big fan favorite, Rosalina is sometimes liked more than our number 1 spot, who by this point is probably pretty obvious, but we'll get there in a minute. Rosalina, on the other hand, is appealing for being quite the independent individual. She's a sorceress, wields a ton of power, and her duties are to watch over and guard the Mushroom World, and also to protect and guard the universe. Yeah, that's no simple task. But Rosalina is definitely up to it. She first debuted in Super Mario Galaxy and since then has become a reoccurring character due to popularity, although mainly pops up in spin-off games as opposed to main titles. And to top it all off, many a fan find her outfit variations to be the sexiest of the franchise. And finally, in at number 1, Princess Peach. How could we not put Princess Peach in our number 1 spot? While she may not be the OG Mario girl, Peach has become synonymous with the franchise, and is likely one of the first characters you think of when it comes to iconic women in video games. She's appeared in more games than any other female character in video game history. First appearing in 1985's Super Mario Bros., Peach has come a long way from simply being a damsel in distress, having more agency and even becoming a playable character in main titles in the series. A mix of intelligence, stubbornness, selflessness, graciousness, and a little bit of posh princess attitude, it's not difficult to see why Peach has resonated with fans for so long. There we have it, friends.
Number 10. Vector the Crocodile. Some people really enjoy a good nibble when they're getting busy, but you know what's even better than a little nibble on the neck? 3,700 pounds per square inch of prehistoric power coming down on your neck. Kusha! Sure, it might be uncomfortable for some and lethal for others, but if you like it rough, I'm sure Vector would be down. Just look at all that leather. Number 9. Sonia the Hedgehog. Sonia the Hedgehog comes from Sonic Underground, and as we all know, rocker chicks are awesome. Her keyboard skills are second only to the amount of pink on her, and we all know pink is hot as hell. Plus she's a princess, so if you marry her, you're set for life. The only problem is most retailers don't accept fictional currency. Number 8. Fang the Sniper. Fang already gets some major hot points for being a cowboy because we all know cowboys are all ruggedly handsome. All of them, it's just the way it is. But he gets even hotter. How? Well, you know who played a sniper in a movie? Bradley Cooper. You know what Bradley Cooper is? Hot. That means Fang is hot. The logic is flawless. Don't worry about it. Trust me, it's good logic. It's very stable logic. I have the best logic. Nobody is as logic as I am.
In our number 7 spot, Wendy Okoopa. Wendy is the princess of the Koopas, and the only female Koopaling. She's a singer, has a quick temper, and is a little sensitive when it comes to wealth management. In the past, she set false coins to trick Mario. A lady of luxury, she first appeared in Super Mario Bros. 3 back in 1988, and many consider her to be the first true villainess in a Mario game.
Number 6. Jet the Hawk. Jet the Hawk is super cocky and full of himself, something that rubs some the wrong way, but can be irresistible to others. If you find yourself drawn to the bro in the skin-tight v-neck and sideways hat who picks a fight with everyone and their mother, you might enjoy Jet, as long as you can get past his voice, and the fact that he's a cartoon hawk. Number 5. Silver the Hedgehog. It's no secret that some people go crazy for older men. Silver foxes like George Clooney will always be in style, but you know what's even hotter than a silver fox? A silver hedgehog. This time-traveling hunk of a hedgehog can use his psychokinesis to drive the ladies crazy. With his incredible power, he can move you both emotionally and physically as you get lost in his brilliant golden eyes. Number 4. Honey the Cat. Wasn't sure if I'd put Honey or Marine in this spot. What tipped the scales was cleanliness. Cats are awfully clean, grooming themselves all the time. Raccoons, on the other hand, are all up in garbage all the time. So, given a choice between a nice clean cat and a smelly trash panda, I think I'll go with the kitty cat. Plus, you know, she's cute and friendly and all that, but mostly it's the garbage thing.
Up next, number 3, Princess Daisy. Princess Daisy is the princess for those who don't like archetypal princesses. She's a tomboy, a tough cookie, and has a thing for flowers. Like, really adores them and doesn't just think that they're pretty accessories. Daisy first appeared in Super Mario Land in 1989, and was the princess that Mario had to save. She's established more of a personality since then, being the ruler of Sarasa Land, who resides in the Mushroom Kingdom, and even became a love interest for Mario's brother Luigi.
Number 2. Ugandan Knuckles. That's right, it's the meme sensation himself. I don't think I need to tell you why Ugandan Knuckles is a babe. Those big, beautiful, outward-facing eyes, the round body, the arms sticking out so far. Not to mention the fact that he definitely knows the way. Truly, truly breathtaking. I'll be your queen, Ugandan Knuckles. You can spit all over me. Number 1. Rosie the Rascal. Found a loophole. Amy was listed in Kelly's video, but not her evil counterpart from the comics, Rosie the Rascal. And since a lot of people were yelling for Amy last video, this should appease some of you. Rosie the Rascal is definitely unstable, which might scare a few off, but some people just love a crazy gal who does whatever the heck she wants while wearing a yellow tutu. Plus, she definitely knows how to handle a hammer. And as we learned in Dr. Horrible,
the hammer is my penis.
Number 10. Rockstar Chica. Something about those maracas, I suppose. For some reason, Rockstar Chica is a fan favorite when it comes to attractive animatronics. And there are a lot of people who have created fan art of her, imagining her as a cute blonde anime rocker girl, which is an interpretation of her look. Still, I think this version of Chica is one of the most odd in terms of people finding her hot, but there are people out there that do, so hey, no judgment. I've seen the fan art, I have the proof. And friends, before we move on to this next spot, if you are loving what we are doing here at Top 10 Gaming, please go check out our newest channel, Most Amazing Top 10 Anime. Click that subscribe button. Do it! Number 9. Mangle. I didn't believe that Mangle could be sexy, to be honest. I had heard the rumblings, and I wanted to be able to deny that they were true. But then I looked up Mangle FNAF sexy. Do that at your own peril, because you will definitely find some very weird, very sexy things. I don't know how I feel about them. Personally, I think I feel uncomfortable. But there are people that really love Mangle out there, perhaps a little bit too much. When it comes to Mangle, I feel like the makeup is a big selling point for fans. That and the idea perhaps that Mangle is an interactive animatronic. I'm going to let you interpret that as you will, but I'm mainly talking about the fact that Mangle was disassembled and reassembled seemingly for fun. Pink is also just a color that I feel a lot of people like. It can be very feminine and very flirty, and this definitely sticks with people when it comes to how they perhaps see Mangle and the animatronic's potential sexiness, playfulness, and possibly feminine side. Number 8. Funtime Foxy. Funtime Foxy is just one of the cutest versions of Foxys that I think we have. I personally agree with this one being on the list, obviously. For me, I really love the coloring of this animatronic, and actually also the coloring of all the Funtime animatronics. Funtime Foxy is also an interesting animatronic in the sense that there is much debate surrounding the gender of Funtime Foxy. Some believe due to the makeup and coloring that Funtime Foxy is female, while others feel that Funtime Foxy due to their bow tie and masculine voice must be male. In Ultimate Custom Night, the animatronic was given male pronouns. For me, I think perhaps Funtime Foxy is kind of like neither and falls somewhere in between those two gender labels. Perhaps Funtime Foxy is a little bit more gender fluid than most animatronics. I've seen people reimagine Foxy as more feminine though, and it's a thing to behold, with fan art imagining a much more curvy version of this animatronic.
Number 7. The Atomic Heart Ballerinas. The Atomic Heart twins, so left and right. These two are the thumbnail for the video, aren't they? They probably are. You guys love them. You sick, trusted, respected audiences really love them. And it's not hard to see why. These robots seem like they were designed by a committee to get people's attention, like what we all experienced with Lady Dimitrescu, except now there's 2 of them. These are some very shapely robots. I don't know how else to describe them. These might be the roundest robots since BB-8. Look, the boss fight against these 2 is ridiculous. I don't even know if I can show half the footage from this thing. It seems more like the kind of video you'd watch on a strange European website that sells videos and pills and blurry quality. I was watching it at work for research and I still felt like I had to alt-tab anytime anybody walked by. It feels like something that would happen if you walked into your parents and they tell you they're wrestling. That's what this boss fight looks like. All of their attacks end with you getting a face full of titanium tush. I gotta wonder if they're keeping all the circuits and wires inside the rear compartment. But you know what? God bless you, Atomic Heart Ballerina robots. God bless you, and bless you for the clicks you send our way.
Number 6. Funtime Chica. I feel like the Funtime animatronics just in general really have just something going on with them. Maybe it's because they have the word Funtime in their names. Is there anything hotter than someone who advertises their love for having a fun time? Personally, I am here for people who just want to have fun. When it comes to Chica, there is also her coloring here to consider, and of course, the fact that it's Chica, but just in a Funtime form. We always love Chica, don't we? We are big stands for Chica. Even with Rockstar Chica getting some love on this list, which I think truly speaks for how people are in love with this character. Because to me, Rockstar Chica, I don't know, not as hot. Funtime Chica, more hot though. Number 5. Hand Unit. I don't really know what I'm doing with this list right now by including Hand Unit, but I guess what I find to be somewhat attractive about Hand Unit, if I had to pick, obviously 10 more animatronics that are considered hot, which is, you know, yeah, what we're doing here, is that Hand Unit is somewhat aloof and mysterious. Also, the original voice for Hand Unit that we hear in Sister Location, I like it. Sometimes Hand Unit makes me laugh in Sister Location, and other times they make me like really nervous. Mainly, I like the idea of having a romance with an all-powerful AI that can control life and death. I think that's kind of a cool, albeit, you know, creepy idea. But hey, this is FNAF, so many of the things are both cool and creepy. It's a horror game. And one of the ways us FNAF fans deal with the absolute horror show of the lore and these games is by making our own headcanon about how animatronics, and by extension disembodied AI voices, which evidently is more what I'm talking about here, could even become dear friends over time who only want to protect us. I mean, I feel like having Hand Unit on my side would be really good, I'm just saying. This is a huge part of the reason why we are so willing to accept the protective and friendly nature of GLAMROCK Freddy and Security Breaches players. So I think it makes sense that in my mind I'm imagining a Hand Unit that's like really sweet and nice and, you know, just wants to bring me flowers. Is there anything wrong with that? Probably, but I don't care, I want flowers. Flowers are nice. Number 4, Roxanne Wolf. Roxanne Wolf is one of the newest animatronics, which is why I'm also a little bit surprised that she would be included on this list. But yet, we cannot deny how much love there is out there for Roxy, and I love that. I love that we have gotten new animatronics in Security Breach via Montgomery Gator and Roxanne Wolf, and the people have just completely embraced them and kind of fallen in love with them. I think that's really cool. Roxy comes across initially in the game as being all about herself, but later on we learn that there might be more to her after she becomes shattered, and she expresses great distress concerning that if she isn't beautiful any longer, people won't love her anymore. Oh, there's an amazing sense of connection I think people feel with Roxy that doesn't quite exist with any other animatronics we've seen this far for that reason. I think it's a combo of her punk rock vibes and her complex personality that makes her attractive to fans. Also, she got that hair. Her hair is very glamorous. It's very glamrockerous.
Number 3. Nick Valentine. Next up is for those who want a silver fox or a decaying latex flesh fox. Nick Valentine is the eagle-eyed, quick-witted, well-read private eye with a heart of gold-plated aluminum alloy from Fallout 4 who stole all of our hearts and then gave it right back because he's a good guy. Nick is career-driven, a friend to those in need, and not afraid to stick up for you when life is tough. He's the kind of robot you'd bring home to your motherboard. Sure, he might not be the easiest on the eyes, and I imagine some of those protruding bits of wire and metal might scratch a little bit if you're rolling around in the wastes, but I think it gives him character. Now, of all the Fallout 4 companions, Nick is one of the few you can't actually date. He keeps things professional, but that seems unfair to me. You can date Curie, who is also a robot, or Hancock, who's a ghoul, and he's charming, but he does look like a rotting corpse. But Nick looks like a mechanical rotting corpse, and that's too far. Seems like an unfair double standard to me.
Number 2. Glamrock Freddy. Glamrock Freddy is weirdly attractive. He is super tall, seemingly buff, who also stands as a father figure to Gregory. He's kind, he's compassionate, sweet, and genuine. Plus, he's also a rock star, being one of the Glamrock animatronics and their lead singer. What is there not to like there? For some reason, people also love to draw him looking super jacked. He's not only drawn to look buff though, he's also often drawn to look super handsome, usually sporting a chiseled jaw in fan art and a sweet, sometimes shy or playful expression. It makes sense that we'd think Glamrock Freddy is attractive though. He is designed to act as our pal, our friend, and our protector in Security Breach. And for that reason, it makes sense that people would see him in a more attractive light, because he's kind of playing an attractive role there. There is also a lot of fan art with him winking and offering congratulations, saying, "Way to go, superstar," a line of encouragement from the game that he's become pretty famous for, and even in some cases, memeable for. Number 1. Glamrock Chica. Glamrock Chica is definitely one of my favorite animatronics when it comes to the hottest one. That feels really weird to say. Glamrock Chica just seems like she usually has a fun-loving attitude. I mean, even when she's chasing after you and is horrifying, she still kind of seems like fun to me. I don't know, I might not mind being caught by Glamrock Chica. Well, except for the whole jump scare part, and she probably is gonna kill you part. This version of Chica seems to also love pizza, and I feel like she and I could both bond over that. I also really love pizza. The Glamrock animatronics also all come with some of the best designs in regards to their looks, so hey, that's also a bonus. So if y'all couldn't guess the one animatronic that inspired this list, it was Glamrock Freddy, with this fan art by Amon S, in particular being the one that triggered us to make it. So I guess thank you for that, Ominous. Oh my gosh. Number 10. Captain Foxy. I mean, what is better than regular Foxy? Definitely a more decorated version of everyone's favorite pirate animatronic. That's right, we're talking about Captain Foxy from the Curse of the Dreadbear expansion for the FNAF virtual reality game Help Wanted. I also really love Foxy's coat here. I feel like actually a lot of my choices for this list are going to be based on fashion, but hey, part of what makes an animatronic or a person I think hot is their sense of style. And pirate style is already something I'm super here for. I love pirates. So the added bonus of this piratey hat and coat with epaulettes on it only heightens the appearance of Foxy here. Epaulettes, by the way, are the name for what some might see as kind of fancy shoulder pads on coats. They're actually used to symbolize a person's rank in the military, so either Captain Foxy is higher in rank than normal Foxy, or he stole this coat from someone that was a higher rank and who was, working on the seas. That's probably more likely because pirate, so yeah. Epaulettes, when made from metal, can also be referred to as shoulder scales, FYI. I love that term, shoulder scales. Makes you sound like you're a cool dragon. And friends, before we move on to this next spot, if you love what we do here at Top 10 Gaming and you love all of our FNAF content, why not subscribe so that you don't miss out on anything new we're putting out? I know some of you don't subscribe, so please subscribe. Do it. Number 9, Toy Freddy. I thought it was only fair that Toy Freddy got some love on this list, considering that so many of the toy animatronics were highlighted on the part 1, and only one other version of Freddy made that other cut as well. I know Freddy isn't often thought of as like the hottest or even like the most favorite animatronic of the bunch, which I think is kinda sad, considering he is the main mascot generally of Fazbear establishments. Toy Freddy has a cute and shiny look to him. One of my favorite things about the toy animatronics in general is the shine on them and their colored cheeks. Like they're wearing blush. Toy Freddy also sports a black bow tie and top hat with a red rim, making him look quite dapper, I gotta say. Number 8, Happy Frog. I like when people are happy. Honestly, I think that can be a hot quality. Not that you can't, be hot and also be sad, because that also happens a lot. And I also like the color of Happy Frog's purple eyes myself. I've always liked the color purple, and honestly, I actually wanted to have purple eyes myself when I was a kid, although I'm not sure if that's actually a thing you can be born with. I always dreamed like maybe my eyes will change color and I'll have purple eyes. I know there are people who have been rumored to have purple eyes and claim that they have purple eyes, but I don't think that's actually a natural color that exists genetically. But let me know if I'm wrong about that. I also acknowledge that with Happy Frog's eyes technically being the color of magenta, some actually might see them as more pink than purple, but I guess that really depends on how you individually see color and, also the color settings that are on your monitor. Happy Frog is one of the animatronics to appear in the Mediocre Melodies. She first appeared alongside her fellow bandmates in Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator. Number 7, Lefty. I don't know what exactly it is about Lefty, but I just find him kinda handsome. Is that weird? I guess it's kinda weird. Lefty isn't maybe an animatronic that people immediately think about when they think hot, but I do. I think he stands out for me when it comes to good looking animatronics for some reason. I will say I've also seen people transform Lefty and reimagine him as a female, and even that has been pretty spiffy, I gotta say. Something I would love to see is Lefty get an eye patch like Foxy. I feel like he could really rock it. I feel like he'd look quite sporting and quite spiffy with an eye patch. There's also some weird imagery when it comes to Lefty's potential sexiness, with him being highlighted as a deadly sexy character, kinda like a more sinister version of Freddy, like a sexy villain if you will. Although technically in a way all the animatronics I guess are kind of villains for the most part, or at least antagonists, as many of them do try to, kill you in game. Finding any of them hot is kind of weird, I guess. Number 6, Lolbit. Whether you are imagining Lolbit as male, female, or their standard they themselves, it seems that you might find them attractive. At least that's what the internet seems to be claiming. If you don't believe me on this one, just look up some attractive fan art of Lolbit. It is out there. There's a lot of it. You might be surprised, or maybe not if you're already a big fan, that there is already just a lot of that kind of fan art out there. I find this especially surprising since while I know a lot of people do love Lolbit, which I respect, they're still considered to be a pretty minor character and in many cases are generally only shown as like a disembodied head, I think. But hey, maybe people just really love the coloring, or are here for Lolbit's, I don't know, their glowing personality? If you're a major Lolbit fan, maybe you can enlighten us on the attractiveness of this animatronic in the comments, and why you personally like them.
Number 5, Fisto. Now it's important in a relationship that both parties provide something. A lot of these robots so far are skilled in combat, but few of them have 9-to-5 jobs. That's why Fisto in New Vegas is attractive. It's a blue-collar robot that'll do anything for some caps. You'll run into Fisto when you're helping the Atomic Wrangler find some new attractions to get tourists from New Vegas in, and Mr. Garrett gives you an unreasonable request: a ghoul dominatrix, a smooth-talking cowboy, and a pleasure bot. Fisto is that pleasure bot. Just a meager 10 caps for its services, Fisto will provide you all the relief you could want patrolling the Mojave, while your companions helplessly watch as the screen fades black. What is happening in that black screen? We may never know. We may never want to know. Fisto assures the courier that numbness will subside momentarily, so we know he's technically proficient and he brings in the caps. That's a lot of really hot qualities for a potential partner to have.
Number 4, Sun and Moon, also known as the daycare attendant. Sun and Moon are both separate personas of the same character who works in the daycare at Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex. For some reason, there were a lot of people in the comments requesting that Sun and Moon be highlighted as a hot animatronic. And apparently, this is because a lot of people really like him. And honestly, I've even seen these two sides of the same coin be shipped together as well from trying to look up fan art of them, which is like a weird concept to think about because like aren't they the same person? So how can you ship them together? There's lots of art with them having like a baby together and I'm just like, but how will that, okay, sure, why not? Why not? If you like it, it's fine. As long as it doesn't hurt anybody else, I think it's cool. Number 3, Ballora. I don't know what it is with people in Ballora, but there are a lot of folks out there who are seemingly like obsessed with her. It must be that, severe like waist to hip ratio that she got going on. She got like very hourglass proportions, I feel. And perhaps her sense of grace, which lends to her, dare I say, beauty. Ballora is also quite feminine, which probably adds to people adoring her both in appearance and in terms of her behavior. Although she can still jump scare you in Sister Location, she's also a lot more timid or reserved, at least outwardly. She can sing and dance, so her talents are another reason people likely find her attractive, and her purple eyes, although we never really quite get to see them. Well, that is unless you're getting jump scared, but I'm not sure if people are here for that. I guess if you find scary things sexy, then you might be into that. Myself personally, nah, not so much. Number 2, Ringmaster Foxy. Ringmaster Foxy is another one that is pretty feisty. I heard everyone's clamors in the comments of the part 1 in this video series. How could I forget Foxy, you asked me? Oh, to be honest, I never forget Foxy. I would say Foxy and Chica to this day remain my few favorite animatronics in the game. Although I will say everybody's take on Roxy is also making me really take another look at Roxy as well. Roxy maybe is really awesome. I have a little Foxy plush that was gifted to me that I cherish, and I'm still waiting for a Foxy FNAF shirt to pop up in some of my favorite fandom shops so that I can rep Foxy as well with my t-shirt collection. But I guess I've always thought of Foxy, I don't know, as my bestie, not necessarily a hottie, just like my BFF for life. Although, pirates can definitely be hot. But what's hotter than a piratical version of Foxy? How about his Ringmaster version from Special Delivery? Honestly, the Special Delivery versions of animatronics don't get enough love on our channel. They're so creative, which is why I'm really happy to include Ringmaster Foxy with his whip hand on this list. What can I say? Whips are kinda great. They're kinda awful, obviously, but also kinda great. Number 1, Mermaid Chica. One of the weird things about Mermaid Chica was that I spotted her in Security Breach and then was so amazed and stunned by her existence that I forgot that she also existed originally in Help Wanted. That's just how good the art in Security Breach is for her though too. In Security Breach, I think we only see her via art that appears in the world, but I'm still here for the idea of all animatronics possessing their own mermaid or merman or merperson versions, or just, aquatic versions of them in general. I really like mermaids and aquatic themes, so I'm very much here for this. Mermaid Chica initially appeared, I believe, in Help Wanted, and instead of the classic double shell that most mermaids, such as Ariel, sport, she appears to wear one giant clamshell, I think it's a clamshell, as a top. As cute as Mermaid Chica is, I gotta say, if you think about what she is, it's pretty weird and even a little bit creepy. Part chicken, part fish. She's kind of like a weird animal hybrid mashup, but an animatronic. Also, if you had a real Mermaid Chica, how would she walk? Does she levitate? How does that work?
Number 10, Nora from Atomic Heart. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, completely candid here, plead the fifth. I don't personally find this fridge very attractive, and maybe that's a sign that I'm very shallow and I'm not looking at the personality of my potential ironclad dates. And Nora here has a lot to offer. For one, she takes charge. She knows what she wants. She likes dominant, assertive men, and she likes innuendo, since that's basically all she says. But we're not thinking of one of her better traits, which is just how giving and loving she is, offering upgrades for the player, crafting weapons, ammo, you know? A good partner should supplement your independent life, and without Nora, who would help you craft upgrades for the Kalashnikov? That's what love is all about. And also, Atomic Heart came out pretty recently and is a pretty popular video game, and I was hoping to do a little trick called a hook by grabbing your attention at the start of the video to get you watching the rest. Gotcha! We all serve the algorithm. And if you'd like to watch way more video game top 10 lists about all the latest and greatest, there's a lot of videos about robots that you might find attractive on the channel. If that's your thing, you clicked in this video, so it might be. Click on through to Top 10 Gaming, hit that little bell, and subscribe. But do that after the end of this video, okay? Because we got way more wet, wild, robot. I probably can't say. We got way more hot robots on this list for you coming up. Number 9, V1 Ultra Kill. Coming up next on this list is going to be the dashing, death-dealing, grappling hook beloved blue robot V1 from Ultra Kill. V1 is an extremely focused, hyper-lethal vector who doesn't spend a single second stationary, always jumping wall to wall, raining lead on the legions of hell, and looking snatched while doing it. Look at those hips. Tactical. V1 is literally driven by the life-giving fluid that pours out of its enemy's wounds, which does make V1 kind of like a vampire robot, and we all know, look at Edward Cullen, a vampire is the hottest monster there is. There's something too about this strong, silent type that makes me want to sit down and get to know what makes V1 tick, what really drives it. I know I'm not the only one interested in wanting to see what supreme tricks this machine has up its sleeves, because the official developer store does sell body pillows of V1. You do what you want with that information, okay? I'm not gonna tell you what to do, just gonna tell you that it is out there if that's something you're interested in. Number 8, Legion. One of the hottest things you could want out of someone is knowing that they're interested in you and have no problem showing it to everybody else. In Mass Effect 2, Legion loves you so much that it took scraps of your old armor to repair itself, making it look like it's in 24/7 Commander Shepard cosplay. Legion's got like a tiny little robot crush on you, at least as far as 1,138 separate Geth platforms operating in one body could conceivably have a crush on a person. Legion gushes sometimes when you talk to it, gets kind of shy if you ask why it used your armor specifically. You can practically see it blushing when it says there's no data available. Oh, Legion, I get it. Being honest with your feelings are hard, but the way I feel about you, Legion, anything but hard. Oh, fuck that joke up. Anything but soft. Aside from that, Legion is a true confidant and is there for you to the absolute bitter end. Is the best companion a Spectre could ask for aside from Mr. Vicarian. It was a cosmic injustice that Legion was never available as a romance option in the Mass Effect games. What? We got no problem letting Joker date Edie. She's a lady bot, but I can't try to kiss Legion on his little lamp head? Double standards much. Oh, I'm sorry if you thought Edie was gonna be on this list. I'm sorry this list of hot video game robots isn't to your standards.
Number 7, Mr. Hippo. Speaking of the mediocre melodies, I don't know, friends. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty really with this list in terms of animatronics that I have left to talk about, that one could consider as hot. So here we go with Mr. Hippo. I think for Mr. Hippo, I just really love his little hat and his purple coloring. Like I said, I really love the color purple. Also, why can't Hippo animatronics be hot? Why is that not a thing? In terms of animatronics that are falling apart or run down, the Mediocre Melodies group actually has a lot of animatronics who are in good shape by comparison to such groups as, let's say, the Nightmare animatronics. Mr. Hippo also has a flower on his chest, so that with his little black top hat makes him look dapper. And I don't know, I like an animatronic that looks dapper. I think that's hot, looking dapper.
Number 6, Ramatra. Now there are more than a few members of Overwatch who could have qualified here. Echo, if you're into that Apple Store aesthetic. Zenyatta, if you want your hot robots to be a real chill vibe, no worries kind of hippie. Maybe Bastion, if you like your dates non-verbal and good with animals, but for me, it's all Ramatra. For one thing, he's got some of the nicest hair I've ever seen a robot have. Those wire dreads are ridiculous. An unbelievable drip. Ramatra's gotta be the best dressed robot on this entire list. Love the cyber shaman thing. And just look at him. Total beach chassis. Real bodybuilder, aside from the fact that, he takes care of his physique, he's deeply cared about the world around him and is politically involved. Some people might label him some scary words like supervillain or lunatic, but he cares deeply about the fate of the Omnics, so Ramatra's got a lot going on on outside in his personal life, and he's not just gonna cling to you the entire time. These are very hot qualities for a robot to have. Also, this guy's just an absolute monster when paired with the right supports. He's my favorite tank to have on the team, and I wouldn't kick him out of the control point, if you know what I mean. I don't know what I mean.
Number 5, Toy Chica. Obviously, Chica is just one of the hottest animatronics out there. I don't think any of us are going to debate this. If you do want to debate this, meet me in the comments, let's have a debate. But among the different types of Chica animatronics, Toy Chica is considered to be one of the hottest ones out there. It could have to do with her very scantily clad appearance, with her like, she's wearing just like her little, it's like a bib basically, and like little, like basically underwear. Or perhaps it's thanks to her ability to, you know, remove her beak. I personally think Chica being able to remove her beak is really creepy, but I could see how other people might feel differently about it, because, you know, some people don't find a beak, I guess, hot. I don't know. Toy Chica is also generally depicted as being curvier than most models of the animatronic, and has a focus on her eyes when it comes to fan art versions of the character. This is where it gets a little weird. The really weird thing is that this can extend to not just her big blue eye version with her beak and her eyelashes attached, but her other non-beak, like pinprick white light eye version, where she appears to actually kind of be missing her eyes and only have 2 little bright white lights peering out of her eye sockets. So I guess some people also find the creepy vibes hot when it comes to Toy Chica, which, okay, I see you. I see you. You are seen.
GLADOS, Portal. Some people really want their partner to take control. I won't judge you. You clicked on a video called Hottest Video Game Robots. You're already beyond judgment, and I'm writing the list, so I'm there with you. But if that's the kind of thing you're looking for, there are few better robots than GLADOS, who might be the most condescending, domineering robot ever put to fiction. GLADOS hates you, utterly and outright, and she's not even passive-aggressive about it. She's active-aggressive about it, what with the neurotoxins and all. Now, for some people, this is a turn-on. I'm not gonna lie, she's got a very pleasant speaking voice and an even nicer singing voice, and she's got a bit of a I don't know, tsundere thing going on with you. She both really badly wants to see you dead, but also kind of misses you when you're gone. She's got a playful side, an incredibly dark sense of humor, and you kind of suspect deep down when she's not firing rockets at you or making fun of you for being fat and adopted, she might have just like a little crush on you. She's just teasing you like you're on the schoolyard. Or she might really hate you and wants to see you get crushed or flattened or poisoned or any other number of ways of grievous body harm. Hard to tell with a wild one like her.
Number 3, Montgomery Gator. Montgomery Gator is a pretty muscular appearing animatronic, which I think is why some people find him to be hot. He also just has really cool sunglasses, in my opinion. I used to have a pair of sunglasses very similar to his when I was a teenager, and I gotta say, I miss those sunglasses. They were super cool. I would perhaps try to become a little friendlier with Monty just for like a chance at borrowing his sunglasses. Mine were orange though, and appropriately reminded me of a very glam rock-esque band, I suppose, Kiss. Well, not straight up glam rock perhaps, but you know, definitely similar vibes. If you aren't familiar with Kiss, if that was before your time, you should definitely check them out. They are a mood for sure, and they're definitely people that I feel like would wear sunglasses like Monty does. If they haven't already, I wouldn't be surprised if there's like pictures of them with star sunglasses.
Number 2, 2B. Up next on our list is 2B from the wonderfully weird and brilliant Nier Automata. If you clicked on this list expecting to see some hot robots, you probably guessed 2B would be on here, since she's sort of infamous. Back when the Atomic Heart twins were just twinkles in their programmer's eye, 2B was making waves on the internet for her preposterously large arsenal of weapons that she has at her disposal. 2B is a Yorha android and one of the most advanced out there, looking a lot more human than any of the dorky little robots you beat up in Nier. Now you might be asking, what super government agency would build a combat robot to look like it shops at Victoria's Secret and Hot Topic? What robot would need 9-inch stilettos if it's going to be kicking around a wasteland? Well, the director of Nier Automata, the unbelievably strange creator of the games, Yoko Taro, offered his reasoning behind the character's attire in an interview where he cleared up the matter and stated, "It's because I really like girls." That level of honesty is weirdly endearing, you know? He once asked a fan on Twitter to send him all the questionable art of 2B in a big folder for him so he could make sure no one was looking at it and was safe all in one place. Also, play Nier if you haven't. It's one of the best stories in a game ever, I promise, and don't let the weird creator dissuade you. Now, before we got off to number 1, I wanted to rattle off just some honorable mentions in case you're wondering. Number 1, Chibi Robo. He's adorable, but he's not hot, you know? He's cute. He's cute like a puppy. Metal Gear Rex,
One of the nicest sets of legs I've ever seen on a robot. Unfortunately, doesn't count because it's a mech, a guy's driving it, but man, Otacon knew what he was doing with that thing. Claptrap, this guy's got zero game, okay? He cleans up well in his tuxedo, but he's got no personality. I can't find him hot, sorry. Shodan, she's a lot like GLADOS, but no one under the age of 30 has ever heard of her. And Pathfinder, really great personality and honestly, some nice hips if I'm being honest, but I don't know, I see him as a friend more than anything. And number 1, Ash from Titanfall. Coming in at the number 1 spot on our list today is the Apex Predator Ash from Titanfall 2 and Apex Legends. She's a simulacrum, meaning she was at one point in time a human scientist named Dr. Reed, but after a teeny tiny mortality incident was revived as a now immortal simulacrum where her combat capabilities have increased exponentially. She's a terrifying mercenary mech pilot and eventually settles down and lands a job as a referee for a battle royale manhunt and then decided that was boring and wanted to join the competition herself. She's a go-getter. She's got no breath to steady, no quiver to control, and she also happened to get a shapely body with cool, scary Blade Runner legs. Ash is like GLaDOS. She's relentlessly mean and cold. Even when she's saying thank you, she just says something like, adequate. You can't impress her, and that just makes me want to try harder, you know? I want to earn that affection from her. We know she does have a bit of a thing for small, helpless creatures. She carries a rat with her at all times. She didn't name it because she doesn't love it. She just likes having something to boss around. And you know what? If you're taking applications, Ash, I'm pretty good at Apex Legends, okay? I'll go wherever you ping me.